Hello students, let's continue with our chapter 2, Methods of Enquiry in Psychology, and the topic we are going to do today is Steps in Conducting Scientific Research. We have already discussed about the characteristics of scientific research in our part 1 video, so let's quickly revise that. We all know that in scientific method, we study a particular behavior, phenomena or an event in an objective, systematic and testable manner. Keywords here are objective. That means if two people are studying an event or a phenomena, they will find the same answer. Like two boys from your class, they decide to measure the width of a particular window of your class using measuring tape. So both of them, they will find the same answer if they use same tool and measure same window. Next word is systematic. That is, you need to follow some steps and sequence. You cannot miss them. Testable here means that you can test it, you can verify it, you can repeat that. Now let's talk about the topic, steps in conducting scientific research. When we take up any investigation or a study, we need to follow 4 steps, and they are conceptualization of problem. It relates to selecting a theme or a topic for study. Collection of data that concerns with who all are going to participate in that research, what methods or tool a researcher is going to use, what procedure a researcher is going to follow. And since the collection of data, it deals with the information and participants, they are providing the information. So participants are also called informants. Third is drawing conclusion. It deals with analyzing of data using statistical methods and finding meaning. Last is revising research conclusion. That is revising or restating hypothesis formulated or a new theory. Now let's try to understand each step. The first step we are going to talk about is conceptualizing a problem. This deals with what researcher wants to study, his topic or theme for the study, problem or event he wants to address or attend to. He can review past research, observations and personal experiences so as to have a more clear focus and develop research quotient. Like a problem here, if he wants to take up a problem, absence of students in school and their poor grades. After identification of the problem, the researcher proceeds by developing a tentative answer of the problem. That is a hypothesis. Here in this case, if the problem is absence of students and their poor grades, he may state that students who attend school regularly gets good grades. It is very important to mention here that since diverse range of problems are related to behavior and experiences, they may be related to understanding of own's behavior or understanding of other individuals' behavior, or because of group influences on individuals' behavior, or because of group behavior, or because of organizational level. So when you develop a hypothesis like this, that students who attend school regularly get good grades and perform well, then after that we try to prove whether the statement or the hypothesis is true or false. Research is collecting data, and that requires a researcher to make decisions based on 4 aspects, and they are participants in the study, who all are going to participate in the study. Next is methods of data collection. Another one is tools, what he is going to use, and the procedure he is going to follow. So 4 things, 4 aspects he need to make correct decisions. Participants, methods, tools and the procedure to be followed. The focus must be on getting correct data and relevant data. Next step is drawing conclusions. Once the problem is stated clearly and the data is collected meaningfully, next step is that of drawing conclusions. Here the data is analyzed carefully using statistical procedures, and they are used to interpret and understand what the data means. Graphical representations such as pie chart, Bar diagrams and other statistical methods can help in analyzing data. And to help and verify the hypothesis, and the last and the fourth step is revising research conclusions. In case our findings or conclusions they do not support our hypothesis, then we need to revise it. Like the example we have taken, if attendance of students and good grades match, it supports our hypothesis. But if our findings are not in line with the hypothesis and most of the students who remain absent, they still get good grades and excellent performance, then we must revise our hypothesis. We can take up an alternative hypothesis like study habits influence grades or any other like that. Psychological research, we are dealing with human beings, their mental processes, their behaved experiences. So we need to focus on overt behavior and covert behavior. Overt behavior we can study objectively and systematically using scientific research. But for covert behavior and feelings and experiences, we need to focus on a different method called interpretive method, and it emphasizes on understanding of over explanation and prediction. Here the person they express their own feelings. The basic assumptions here are human behavior is very complex and it is variable in nature. Human beings they interpret and give meaning to events and actions differently in different contexts. So everyone who interprets reality in his or her own way, it is different from the other one. It is based on past experiences and different contexts. So it is very important to understand subjective interpretation of reality also. Here the researcher he tries to explore different aspects of human behavior and experiences without disturbing the natural flow. He is not aware of what to expect, and so he tries to record every detailed description that is found. Both scientific and interpretive research method they helps in studying and understanding human behavior and experience. One can also reflect upon one's own thoughts, feelings, experiences and behavior and gain more insight. In this video we have covered 4 different steps of conducting scientific research, and they are conceptualizing a problem, collecting data, drawing conclusions and revising research conclusions. We also talked about alternative paradigm of research, that is understanding of over explanation and prediction using a method called interpretive method. So studying of overt behavior and covert behavior. Both are important and necessary for proper understanding of human behavior, feelings, thoughts, mental processes and their experiences. I hope this video is going to be useful for you. Thanks for watching.